So Aquarius, all the very best. Have very happy new year, and you're entering into one of the most beautiful periods because I know what your transits are happening. So it's a very, very amazing and beautiful 2026 for you. Starting with 2026 yearly horoscope. If you want to book for you, it's online on acastro.ca, and there is a WhatsApp link in the description for bookings. So you can book there. Moving forward, Rohit, January 2026 for all the Aquarius ascendant people. The 12th house will be occupied by the ninth house lord. That is a yoga karaka, which is a great news for those people who are waiting for travel. If you are expecting a travel, if you're expecting some kind of spiritual journey, long distance journey, then this is a very positive time. But expenses also, expenses related to real estate, expenses related to your mother, expenses related to your home country also can happen. So maybe you are traveling somewhere, home country, up and down, and then expenses are on the high side. Very good time for spiritual retreats as well. So great. Venus transit is very great with the beginning. Sun in the second house in Capricorn is going to make sure that your spouse also going to do some expenses for you. So there is going to be expenses on the partnership area also. Sometimes in a very bad scenario, when you're going through a very difficult mahadasha, like a Sun mahadasha, Saturn mahadasha, or Saturn and Sun mahadasha combined, then this is a period where some losses related to partnership can happen. Like maybe spouse and you may not come on the right terms. Maybe business partners may not be on the right term, and there can be some losses here. But for that, your personal chart is a very important chart to see that what kind of area you are going through. When Mars enters into Capricorn, this becomes exalted here. Mars here is the 10th house lord, exalted in the 12th house. That means those people who are already in a foreign country and working there, they will have a very great destiny during this period. Something very powerful is happening in a foreign country. In fact, this is the time to show your courage. Your workplace will be very, very pleasant, and there will be a lot of action that you'll be taking in that workplace area. One more beautiful thing, Rohit, what happens in this scenario is that because um, uh, Mars is also the third house lord in the 12th house. There is possibility of sudden travel because of work. So work related travel can also happen. And then Mercury enters into the sign of Capricorn in the 11th house. Mercury here is the lord of your 8th house. Going into the 12th house makes a Vipreet Raj Yoga here. So this is good for all the obstacles faced from the 8th house that is related to insurance, taxation, money related problems, problems in inheritance, problem in shared resources, dividing your assets and whatnot. This is a time that it may be very feasible, very nice for all the Aquarius ascendant people. So overall, your period has started with expenses. Jan 2026 starts with expensive Jan 2026. So that's what we can call, Roji, when we make the monthly video for January 2026. We'll say expensive January 2026. Moving on to February. Beginning of February, Mercury will enter into Aquarius. Finally, this is good news. The fifth house lord is in the ascendant. That means creativity, your communication, your your subject of doing negotiation becomes very prominent here, and you are supposed to achieve great things in that area. Your attitude also becomes very positive, very communicative, very very creative. So very nice. Later, Venus will also enter here, which is the Yoga Karka. Fourth house lord, 10th from itself in the ascendant, and the ninth house lord in the ascendant means your bhagya, your family, your people around you, the dignity is maintained, and you are getting lot of support from your destiny. That means all the things that you're touching right now is turning into gold, or I could say diamond. That's how powerful it is. When Venus enters into this sign, and especially the fourth house lord enters into the 10th from itself, there is possibility some gains from real estate as well, and some father side also some gains come. So blessings of Guru are also on you during this period. Sun also enters into Aquarius. Now the energy of eclipse starts beginning, because 2nd and 3rd of March is a complete lunar eclipse. So eclipse energy is beginning here. Mercury and Sun are together. Buddha Aditya Yoga is happening, but Rahu and Sun are together. So Grahan Yoga is also happening in your ascendant. So after 13th of February till 15th of March, you should be very careful when it comes to any action related to ego, government, also spouse wise. Things are not looking good right now. Honestly, I'm saying spouse and relationship with your business partner, things are not looking very good. Sometimes legal disputes, sometimes legal challenges. These are something that come on surface. Maybe sometimes legal disputes and challenges for reconciliation also happen. So if reconciliation is the way out, then that is a very beautiful way. Seventh house is also related to happiness and joys from your mother also, because fourth from the fourth, right, of your mother also. So somehow your mother may also feel a little bit of challenge during this period. So that is also where the problem can come. Now here, Mars also enters into the sign of Aquarius. Mars is a very powerful entity here, a third house lord. It is also the 10th house lord. 10th house lord, fourth from itself, aspecting the fourth house. So there may be changes in location of your workplace, which is good. New job offers, new workplace, new areas of working. This is a very good news for all the Aquarius ascendant people. So let's hope for the best that you are doing very well here. When we talk about Mars, also Mars is also the third house lord in the ascendant. So you will be, your personality at this point will be looking at this person is trying to put so much effort into every area of life. That's going to be very, applaudable. People will be applauding about the courage that you're showing, about the ideas that you have, about the career drive that you have during this period. So very powerful. Now, Mercury gets retrograde in Aquarius. This is a cause of little bit of challenge because the creativity lord is getting retrograde when the eclipse is happening. So we want to be very careful about what ideas, what we communicate, how we communicate, what are we trying to tell people, what are we trying to achieve, gain from people, what are we trying to discuss with our kids. Fifth house lord, remember, what are we trying to do? Any kind of manipulation in inheritance, because Rahu and Mercury are together, so manipulation related to eighth house, taxation documents, inheritance, all this avoid. Otherwise there will be a big problem, because Sun is going to be with Jupiter, with Saturn next month, which means that judgment happens during this period. Okay. March is here and Venus enters into the sign of Pisces. But before that, there is an eclipse that is happening in the first and the seven axis of your chart, which means that relationship and your personal life are two common, very important. If you're going through Sun Mahadasha, if you're going through Moon Mahadasha, Rahu Mahadasha, Ketu Mahadasha, then this is a very effective, very effective eclipse for you. So we want to be very calm down. We want to not make big decisions. We want to be chanting the mantra related to Lord Shiva day and night. Maybe the Mahamrityunjay mantra if health wise there is a problem. If there is any problem related to your relationship, that is especially your marriage, etc., then that is where you do lot of Vishnu chanting. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vishnu Sahastra Nam. This is an important thing for you in the year of 2026 beginning. See, beginning is not happening that great. I'm sorry for this, but it is what it is. Now, with Venus entering into Pisces, this is good news. Financial relief comes to you. A big financial relief is coming. Maybe with some good news, maybe with some bad news in the past. Forget about that. Now we are progressing towards greatness. A big financial relief is coming for you. Your bank balance, something from do with your real estate, something to do with your, we can say, your father's wealth, your family wealth, your some wealth is coming to you, which is going to be very, what you say, very comfortable for you. See, so relief is coming in the area related to wealth, not relationships. With Jupiter coming directly into the sign of Gemini, adds a little bit of value to your Lagna, because here is Jupiter is trying to control. With this direct motion, it will try to control lot of your efforts that you have put, and it will not let it go waste. Your creativity, etc., is coming back to action. See, still the Mercury is retrograde here. It will get direct on 21st of March, but still your creativity is at full power. You will see that you are, you're doing some higher education wise. It is very good for children, progeny. It is very good. We are thinking about anything to do with foreign travel or for education. Very good. Foreign travel for research. Very good. For your kids also, it is very good. So Jupiter turning direct is good in many aspects of life, and the main aspect is your love life. Those who are thinking of starting something after a breakup and now starting something new, this is the time that Jupiter may really help you in a very positive manner. Sun entering into Pisces is great news as well, because Sun is the lord of the, there is a little bit of challenge here, but there is great news also. So Sun in the second house may remove all the legal troubles from your life, but health wise, Maraka coming into the Maraka house is not that great. So we want to be very careful about our health during this period when Sun is in the second house, because in this situation, Rohitji, sometimes eyes related problem, dental problem, sometimes problem in the lower abdomen area, stomach area can be seen, and it can be all food related. Second house is the house of food. So whenever we are talking about food or intake of food, this is where the problem can come. So we want to be absolutely careful about what we eat. Try to go sattvic. When Sun enters into Pisces, go sattvic during this time. Saturn will get combust, which is good news because all the people who are going through Sadi Sati will have a very good relief from March 2026 till April 2026. So this is good news. Mercury turns direct, automatically your creativity, etc., is now again in spotlight, and you are very illuminated, very powerful. You are showing yourself as a very great person outside, very intelligent. Wisdom is there every talk, but still Rahu is here. Rahu can manipulate Mercury. So here Mercury can sometimes act. Rahu is still being controlled by Jupiter and Saturn, by Jupiter and Mars, but Rahu can manipulate Mercury. So careful. Now here we will see that Venus has entered into the sign of Aries. Venus Yoga Karka, fourth house Lord, 12th from itself. Health of the mother has to be taken into now consideration. Sale and purchase of real estate can bring losses, so please wait for the right time. Even if Mars is looking at the fourth house, we want to wait for the right time. Sale and purchase of house should not be taken into thing. Shifting can be done. Sometimes in this situation, relocation happens. You are going to a foreign country or maybe going away from your home. Some white traveling also happens for leisure also. So that's how it is supposed to be. Your relationship with your siblings become much more beautiful, and you are trying to express yourself in a very fancy manner. So this time is a time of adding luxury to your communication. So that is great news. After March, April comes here. When we talk about April, the beginning of April starts with Mars is entering into the sign of Pisces. Now here there is a combination that has happened. If you look here very nicely, the fourth house Lord is 12th from itself. The third house Lord is 12th from itself. So now what happens that your communication or your miscommunication can bring ups and downs in your life, which is where we need to be very careful about how we are communicating, what we are communicating. Are we putting very harsh tone outside? Because look, Mars and Sun together are aggressive planets, and on top of that there are three malefics in the second house. This is a time of aggressive behavior, or behavior where you are fighting for some kind of status which does not even exist. Self-respect, you are some aggressive over some self-respect which is not even existing. So we want to be careful. We don't want to get overwhelmed here. With one good news is that because Venus is in good progression, so things will be positive. But April 11th, Mercury also becomes debilitated in the second house. Now this time investment should be completely avoided. Sorry, man. See, it is not in my control or anyone's control. The period has begun from 12th house and first house eclipse, then second house. All this problem is happening. I'm sorry, but second half of your life looks very like of the year looks very very positive. Now here, because see three aggressive planets in the second house, Mercury in the second house, you should not be doing any big commitments or speaking something out of your budget. Simply about out of your budget or out of your reach, because it may create some kind of status challenge for you, which may hurt you here in your heart. So try to be as low key as you can be. Sun enters into Aries. Now this is where you start becoming powerful. Your seventh house Lord is in the third house. This is a time of signing contracts, getting government approvals, showing your courage, being completely taking over this house, that third house of communication, of your younger brothers, of your siblings, of your hobbies, of your environment around you, that is your neighbors. Short distance travel here will prove very beneficial. If short distance travel is happening for the reason of partnership, then this is an absolute crazy amazing time for you, like very great. Now moving forward, Venus will enter into Taurus. This is the fourth house. Now Venus is Yoga Karka, coming to its own sign is a very great news for all the Aries or all the Capricorn ascendant people. Venus is so great here that all the problems that I told you related to real estate, etc., now are going to get solved, and you are going to move forward in a very good direction. In fact, not only that, but because Venus will be looking at the 10th house, so your career aspects also go very up, and you really are very positive in those areas also. So again, Venus is very very proving Yoga Karka for you. Your destiny is at seventh peak, and your home environment is very good. If there is anything that has to do with your mother, your health of your mother, it recovers, and there is lot of positivity here. And then when Mercury enters into the sign of Aries, this is also great news, because what happens here? Mercury, if you see, debilitation has ended and it has come exactly, if you see 8th from the 8th, this is the time that it improves your longevity. Your health recovers. When fifth house Lord goes 11th from itself, because of your creativity, some effort that you put, you are supposed to gain during this period. So overall, it is a very, very powerful transit for you, like great transit for you. Amazing. All the very best. Moving on to May 2026. So for May, now here we go. 2026 yearly horoscope is here. Anyone who is willing to book, you can book online on acastro.co. There is a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments. Now, when we talk about May of 2026, Mars will enter into the sign of Aries. Here Mangal is coming to the Swagsthana, and here at that moment Sun is also in an exalted state, so it's a very powerful placement to show courage, take action. This is the time. See, Mars here also rules the area of your career, so you will show a lot of positive effort in your career, and this will be a very good news for you. Some communication from your career is coming. Also, those who are trying for some short distance travel, or maybe some short distance travels are planned during this time, they may also turn very fruitful for you. Shukradev enters into the sign of Gemini. Venus enters into Gemini. Here, the the Yoga Karka is in the ninth house and now making a very beautiful yoga in the fifth house called Lakshmi Narayan Yoga. I by mistakenly said that it is in the ninth house. Sorry, it is in the fifth house. Making a Lakshmi Narayan Yoga here. And this is fifth house where the speculative gain, we can talk about children getting into more of creative aspects, are going to take action for you guys. Now understand, when Jupiter and Venus are together, this is a point where your uh, happiness actually can be, how do you can be experienced and enjoyed also. So happiness is one point. Okay, we are happy, very nice, but enjoying that happiness is also another thing. So here it's going to be enjoying. Those who are trying for any kind of progeny related activities, especially childbirth, those who are thinking of gaining from their motherland, from their home, from real estate, because see, fourth house lord is in the fifth house, so you even gain from the previous house. So there is possibility of gaining from real estate as well. Those who are thinking to start any education, those who are thinking of going to foreign country, absolutely beautiful and wonderful time for you as well. Here, ninth house lord is exactly ninth from itself. It gives purva punya. That means all the things, all the deeds done in the past times now come on surface, and you really start achieving great things from that. Mercury, who is the lord of the eighth house and the fifth house, is coming to the fourth house, and here it is coming into the sign of Venus. Now, if you see, a small parivartan yoga has happened here, where Venus is in Gemini, Mercury is in Taurus, and this parivartan yoga is going to be very favorable for those people who are doing any kind of trade related activity, especially share market and stock market. So if you are in that area of life, then expect some good gains during this period. Mercury also looking at the 10th house gives great communication skills, even at home and even at work. So this means, the word work life balance exactly happens here. With Sun entering into the sign of Taurus, 10th house lord has come exactly 10th from itself. So your karma, actually the area of karma has now shifted to your home. So this is a time in May of 2026 when Sun is in Taurus to focus more on your home environment, something to do with, your family, your roots, your mother. So this is where it comes. Also, any legal troubles or any legal challenges you are facing in area related to your, we can say, area related to real estate or anything that has to do with your family legal troubles, it may also get solved during this period. So it's a very powerful transit. One thing, when seventh house lord comes to the fourth house, there is also possibility that you do some kind of transaction with your father-in-law. So there is possibility that you'll be doing some transaction with father-in-law, so that's also very great news. Mercury enters into the sign of Gemini here. Mercury is again a very powerful planet coming to the fifth house. Great news for, I told you, those who are in trade and marketing and anything to do in terms of market, like share and stock market, you will see extreme rise for you in the month of May 2026. In fact, because Mercury is also the lord of, your intelligence, your power, your creative aspects in your life goes very up, and you really gain during this time. Now, May is not that important. As soon as June comes, this is where power comes. Jupiter becomes exalted for you. Now, in this chart, if you look at Jupiter, it is the second and the 11th house lord. So you have to see that your bank balance, your money, your gains, your social circles, your income, everything depends on Jupiter. And it is coming to the sixth house of your workplace in an exalted manner. This is one of the greatest placement of Jupiter, because from here, Jupiter controls the 10th house, that is your career, your 12th house, that is your expenses, and your second house, that is your income as well as your savings. So Jupiter is going to empower every place that it is putting an aspect on. One thing with Jupiter aspecting the second house with the ninth aspect, so there is lot of blessing coming. Those people who need too much debt, those who need a financial relief, this is a time that financial relief will come to you. And debt wise, we will see that it will lessen, and you will get more opportunities or more ways to lessen down your debts. Those who are thinking about foreign travel, foreign settlement, or contracts from foreign country also gain a lot of things during this period. There are a lot of partnerships that can happen with distant people, like places, people who are in a distant area. So that's also very positive. Now, one thing with Jupiter coming here, because it's the sixth house of health. So sometimes, your weight gain starts happening, and sometimes your routine becomes very lazy because Jupiter is a very laid back planet. In that case, I would suggest that please maintain the energy of Saturn, even, what you say, in a manner where you are, how do I put it? uh, Maintain that discipline and that routine. That is important. Okay, we'll be making a very bigger video on this Jupiter when we are entering closer to this 2026 of June. So maybe in the month of May, beginning of May, we'll publish this video. For that, be connected to us. Venus also comes here. Now, Venus is the ninth house lord, comes to the sixth house. This is good news for those people who are in any litigation during this time. Litigation problems can get solved here. Enemies problem can get solved. Also, some comfort comes in your workplace. So maybe some promotion or maybe some kind of hierarchy. Those who are expecting some kind of um, money or some kind of relief for their real estate purchase or sale, this is exactly that time that things may also manifest. Sun, on the other hand, enters into the sign of Gemini, the regular transit of Sun every month. Here, 15th of June, it will come here. The Lord of the seventh house is in the fifth house. This is a time that lot of love affair or lot of love which is not regulated can become regulated, and you can now from a lover can become fiancés, and you can get into engagement and stuff like that. So in fact, very good for people who are thinking of marriage also, especially love marriage. There is a possibility that things may be in your favor, and your father, your elders in your home can also agree to this kind of love relationship. So all the very best. Mars makes a transit and comes into the sign of Taurus here on 20th of June 2026. With Mars coming here, it is again in progression, and the 10th house lord is exactly seventh from itself. So in the workplace, you partner with people which are going to be giving you a lot of progress. They are going to take you forward. In terms of progress, we can also talk Mars putting the aspect on the seventh as well as the 11th house. So there are some gains as well during this period, because Mars, one more thing we cannot ignore, Mars is the significator of any land, property, and everything like that. So in this situation, Mars can also give you something to do with property, or getting you into a new property deal, or some kind of a land deal, or some kind of a vehicle purchase. So for that also, we are very, very happy. Only problem is that Saturn is putting the third aspect on Mars, so things may move slow during this period, but there is no denial. So it will happen, but a little bit delay can be happening. Mercury enters into the sign of Cancer. Now, this is also very good, because Mercury here makes a Viprit Rajyog. The Lord of the what you say 8,000 is exactly 11 from itself and making a Viprit Rajyog. In such conditions, mostly in such conditions, lot of problems related to jealousy, or we can say some bad communication or defamation about you happening around you, may come to a point where you are able to overcome such situations. There may also be possibility that a lot of confrontation or lot of settlement, lot of compromises can happen during this period. So that is also very great. With Mercury becoming retrograde on 29th of June is another added advantage or added layer here, which says that since Mercury is retrograde now, the fifth house lord is retrograde. So now here it will be on your decision that you want to let things go or you want to keep it, because your pure happiness depends completely on your decision. Also, those people who are in any kind of big trouble, government problems, challenges where lot of miscommunication happened, and misinterpretation has been filed against you, you may also come out very victorious during this time, because Mercury is now solving the problems here. When we come to July here, Venus will enter into the sign of Leo. Now Venus is moving towards a debilitation. Here the lord of your Kendra is in Kendra, which is good news, but aspected by Mars. You may do some kind of expenses in your home related to some renovations and stuff like that. There may also be possibility that in this period, because of your spouse or your partner, you are supposed to be doing a lot of expenses. So that will be in in the, what you say, pipeline. Venus meeting Ketu. Here there can be some kind of challenges related to detachment in love life, but Venus is very powerful. Remember, it's Yoga Karka here. It is going to empower the seventh house, and it may take you towards something like to do with marriage or getting into more of a really hardcore relationship. That is the kind of scenario that I feel here can happen with Venus. Also, the 11th house, 9th house lord setting 11th from itself, there is gain in destiny also. So you also hear from some guru or some mentor or some teacher, and something to do with your status going up happens because Venus is sitting in the 7th house, which is the house of pada prapati, getting some kind of a designation. Mercury enters into Gemini here into retrograde motion, but it is still very positive because it is with Sun. Sun is also very positive there. There is no problem. Mercury here in the 5th house may empower you that you maybe tried something. See, this is where Punarvasu Nakshatra is also there. So remember, understand that this is the time to retry. Try again, try again, try again. So there is possibility if you're trying for education admission, maybe one more push and it may happen. If you're trying for childbirth, I would not say one more push, but yeah, you should do some kind of a more trial during this time so that that can also happen. If you're doing any kind of medical procedures related to IVF, IUI, stuff like that, then that is also where things are looking very extremely bright and positive. So overall, very powerful, very beautiful transit, no issues at all. Sun now comes to the 6th house. This is a challenge. 7th house Lord in the 6th house. That means sometimes separation. Those who are filed for divorce, separation, are waiting for that news. This is the time that it may happen here somehow. There is also possibility that in this time, if there is any court case, any kind of we can say dates coming and out, you may have a little bit of tough time, you know, dealing with your enemies. So I know Mercury's Jupiter is there and very powerful and what, but Sun is setting 12th from itself. Any planet, when it comes 12th from its own sign, it gives losses. Whenever it goes second from that sign, it gives profit. So this is simple principle of astrology, which we need to always understand. So here, some losses may come, or sometimes in this period, expenses can come related to spouse. Health of spouse has to be taken into utmost consideration. So do not ignore that scenario. Mercury turns direct into Gemini. Thank God. Mercury turns direct. All your communication, all our travel plans, all our commitments, all the contracts, and all that mail, which are very scary that we are putting this on hold right now. That all comes that, okay, hold is lifted now. Let's start. Let's work. Let's do great things. Let's do great trade. Let's do great market research. Let's do late analytical work. So all the things happen to you in a very beautiful manner. Now, the big event of July 2026 is Saturn. Shanidev here gets retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Good news for people who are Aries moon. Sadisati is going to be at completely relief. But when we look at Saturn getting retrograde, Saturn is the Lagna Lord. Getting retrograde, that means it may delay a lot of things related to what you are expecting. It may delay your commitment speech. It may delay property related things. It may delay something that has to do with your we can say 8th house, that is related to insurance, that is related to investments. Even it can delay your social presence, or somewhere you are trying to be in a place where you are supposed to be socially attending something, but it may get delayed. So such kind of delays can happen because Saturn, whenever goes into retrograde motion, it tells us that you need to focus, you need to understand, you need to create um, an awareness that if I'm doing anything wrong, do I need to reconsider? Do I need to rework on something? Have I said something wrong which is going to hurt me in the future? Should I, or hurt them in the future? Should I reconsider my offer? This is the kind of thing that happens. Even in this situation, Saturn is a 12th house lord. So if you're going to a foreign country, you reach a foreign country at this point and say, have I done the right thing? Why did I come here? India was great, Singapore was great, Malaysia was great, my home country was great. So did I do something right or wrong? So such kind of feelings come inside you. So this is what it is. Now this is the very big transit with remedies. We are going to be making a video when we are very close to this zone, Saturn in Pisces, 27th of July. So for that, let's wait and then we will make so you can subscribe so that you do not miss it that time. August is here, and August Venus will enter into the sign of Virgo with being a debilitated position. Now see the act of God. Venus becomes debilitated here, but it puts an exalted aspect on the 2nd house where Saturn is retrograde. So what happens? Venus gives immediate power to Saturn. On top of that, Jupiter is already exalted and putting the ninth aspect on its own sign where Saturn is retrograde. So in this situation also, Saturn does not go, Saturn does not go powerless. Saturn has still the power, still the gati, we can say still the speed to give you good things as well. So do not take planets only on face value. We have to look at the other planets and the association of other planets, and all the benefits are associated with Saturn. So this is very great news. Venus in Virgo in the eighth house, health wise, yes, we have to take care because ninth house Lord is 12th from itself. This is the time that we do not disrespect gurus either in open forum, either in closed forum, nothing. It is a more of a time where you are supposed to be working hard on your research, your development research. Try to get into the depth of things, try to understand where you are going right, where you are going wrong, what are the things you need to more focus more on. Like this is exactly the time. In fact, also related to real estate, this is a time that some good news can come, maybe some gains, some old money or old investment which you never expected to come back may come back. This is debilitated is not always bad. It means that it is in struggle. That's what it is. But after struggle there is victory as well. Mars enters into Gemini. Now here the 10th house Lord is in the 5th house. The creativity level in your workplace, the level of confidence, the level of power, the level of action that you may take in your communication and workplace is going to be marvelous during this time, because Mars is also aspecting the 8th house. And here there can be possibility of getting some speculative gains as well, because Mars is also looking at the 11th house where Saturn is also looking. So there can be some great powerful or power coming from your social circle as well. So that is also one thing. And Mars is also going to be looking at the 12th house in an exalted manner. So again, some good news or some speculative gain from a foreign country is also coming. Since Mercury will enter into Cancer in the date of 5th of August 2026, this Mercury is again making a Vipreet Rajyog. It is already here. Now Mercury, Jupiter, Sun, they're all very good. They're all Sattvic planets, we can say. Sun is a little bit of egoistic, but otherwise Mercury and Jupiter are very good planets. In such case, also all the things in the workplace or in enmity or in debts, etc., they go very smoothly, very peacefully. There is no fight. It goes very smoothly, peacefully. So Mercury transit is also a very good transit. Sun enters into Leo now. Sun comes into power, but an eclipse energy is also building. Now we have not included eclipse here because it's a big deal. We will be talking about it on separate videos when we are closer to August of 2026. So here, Sun enters into the sign of Leo. Now look at the position of Ketu. Ketu is very close to the Ashwini Nakshatra mark, because at this moment, November, October, August, September, October, November, in 4 months, Ketu has to transit and come into the sign of Cancer, which is a very big transit for you guys this year. Now here Sun comes, and this is the Maraka place. So what are the basic things that you need to take care of? Number one is health of yourself, also health of your spouse. Also Sun and Ketu energy not that great when it comes to any kind of problems related to high blood pressure, blood related problems, anything to do in your genitals, especially with your prostate, sexual organs. We can talk about your uterus. We can talk about the anything that has to do with genitals of male and female is where we need to be extra careful. If you're going to Sun Mahadasha Antardasha, then not only now, as soon as Sun enters last month only into the sign of what you say Cancer, you have to do a blood test, or you have to do some tests, because it will clear out that if there is any problem building up or no, because Sun is meeting Ketu here. So it's a very difficult placement. When Mercury comes here, this is a little bit of ease, because Mercury is a benefic planet and Mercury understands the energy of Ketu. In such case, because Mercury is a benefic planet, it turns Ketu's nature also into a benefic state. Eclipse is still happening, we have to go through that, but Mercury here is very good for any kind of miscommunication that has happened in your relationship. Mercury comes here and solves it. It makes things happen for you. It makes you a little bit of more comfortable, that okay, you know what, in this awkward situation, let me come and be a little bit of Mercury is a humorous person, right? So here it comes and add a little bit of humor in this tension area. This happens. Then comes September 2026 yearly horoscope is on. There is, you can book online on acastro.ca, or there is a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments. So you can go there also. All the best. Now September 2026 is here, where Venus, the 2nd of September, sorry, Venus will enter into the sign of Libra. Now look at Libra sign here, ninth house, Bhagyastan. That means amidst of all the problem that is happening, Venus says, I am in your destiny and completely protecting it during this period. So enjoy your life. But this means that everything cannot be put on destiny. And that is the reason why. Because not this month, but next month, Venus will become retrograde and again go back to the sign of Virgo. So Venus is saying it's a very short-lived happiness, where Venus is saying that take advantage of all your destiny and whatnot. Because after that, 7th of September is when Mercury becomes exalted in the 8th house. This means that something suddenly hidden, something very, very mysterious is coming to your life, which is going to add lot of happiness to you. Also, lottery. Why? Because fifth house lord is in the eighth house. So there is possibility that some kind of lottery, sudden gains, you can expect some kind of windfall, maybe, something to do with some insurance, some inheritance is coming. So I just hope that it's not from any bad news, but something good is coming to you, like monetarily. There is big monetary relief here for all the people. With Venus also in Libra, your higher education, your devotion, your relationship with your father, sometimes foreign travel also takes place during this time. So there are so many things happening in Leo. Sun also enters into the sign of Virgo. Now, seventh house lord in the eighth house is very good to give you shared resources. There is possibility that in this period, if there is any money that is owed by your partner, you may get it. So again, great for you. But Sun in the eighth house can create health problems, especially related to high blood pressure, heart related problems, bones. The bone, the bone is ruled by Saturn. The bone structure is ruled by Sun. So the bone structure, that the how we are the hand structure of the bone. So if there is structural damage in bone, that it is because of Sun. And if a joint damage in a bone, then it is because of Saturn. If there is marrow problem, bone marrow problem, then it is Saturn plus Venus, bone marrow problem. So that is how it is. And when it is bone marrow problem, like sometimes bone marrow cancer, etc., then it is Saturn plus Jupiter, which creates that problem. So there are different combinations. When you learn medical astrology, you will go crazy saying, oh my God, what are these layers? How many combinations? So that's how it is. So skin, Rohitji, is moon. Problem in skin is moon plus Mercury. Now, the problem in skin, like, getting white patches, is Mercury plus Saturn. And the problem of skin, psoriasis, etc., is Saturn plus Rahu. So there are so many different ways to look at it, and you'll go crazy that, oh man, it's just like, doctors. That's why they ask, what is the problem? Is this is happening? That is because they're asking for symptoms, right? So depending on symptoms, the planets also act here accordingly. Anyways, after Sun, Mars will enter into debilitation, but this debilitation is better than an exaltation. Here, Mars makes a Neech Bhang Raj Yog in the sixth house. What a powerful placement of Mars. 10th house Lord making a Neech Bhang Raj Yog. Every competitions, everything in your workplace, every enemies that is trying to make you or break you is going to suffer. You are going to get more and more related to your, what you say, your effort that you have put in the past is going to come into action, and you're going to be someone very important, very powerful in your workplace. With Jupiter here, the wisdom of Mars increases. Mars does not take impulsive steps here. Mars will become very wisdom oriented. This is the time that your destiny for foreign travel, foreign country, foreign associations become more dependable, and you will get and make some very good partners from foreign countries who may come and change your destiny altogether. That's how powerful this period is. In fact, your Rahu is also getting controlled here. Look at Rahu. Rahu has no aspect, but Mars comes here and puts an aspect on Rahu right now. And Rahu gets the eighth aspect of Mars. So Rahu is putting closely, every small single step of Rahu is right now watched by Mars. That's how the situation is. Mercury enters into the sign of Libra here, aspected by Mars. That means here your destiny also goes like super speed. Everything is very positive. See, fifth, seventh house lord in the eighth house in the eighth house lord in the ninth house lord in the ninth house. So this is also a very powerful thing where all the things related to relationship, related to your, we can say eighth house related to inheritance, shared resources, joint finances, everything moving up to the destiny area is clear, crystal clear for you to enjoy your life nicely. Very powerful. So September 2026 also brings great power, great positive news for us. But now we are getting into October of 2026, where there are two things that are going to happen. Number one, 3rd of October, Mercury is getting retrograde because Mercury said that there is something which I need to learn more. That's why, not relying on my luck, I am going back to the sign of Virgo. Here it will take 1 month to go, and I will go and learn and make sure that everything is in action, everything I am doing nicely, so that I do not make mistakes again. Some research is left by Mercury. That is what I feel. When Mercury is retrograde in this period, love life, etc., can become a little bit of delayed or a little bit of misunderstood. So that is what it is. Also, when be very careful about the peers, about the mentors, about the teachers you're talking to, because they may also try to put you into a different path here during this period. With Sun entering into Libra, you see your seventh house lord is already debilitated, which means that there may be possibility that your effort is the only way to get things done. Your luck will not be working. Luck lord retrograde, effort lord, the relationship lord debilitated, partnership lord debilitated. But where is this combined aspect going? On the third house, which is an exalted aspect. This means that more effort, more action, more courage, more parakram, we can say, more communication, more clear communication during this period is needed, so that your destiny does not get affected. That's how always it works. Whenever a planet gets retrograde, debilitated, or whenever anything like that, it is always going to make sure that the opposite house gives very good results. In that same scenario, Mercury also retrogrades in Libra. Say that, okay, Venus, if you are retrograding, why should I not? I am also retrograding. Mercury retrogrades into the sign of Libra, again going back to the sign of exaltation. Mercury will not enter the sign of Virgo, but it is retrograde. This means that lot of communication miscaps. Sometimes, with your bosses, the ninth house is the house of your bosses. In this month, there can be trouble with the power. Your bosses may misunderstand you. Your bosses may not understand your complete value system, or not understand what you are saying, or your knowledge, etc., can be challenged during this time. So be very alert and focused during this period. Jupiter, and this is also Diwali time, by the way. Jupiter enters into the sign of Leo. Now, Jupiter here is the lord of the second and the 11th house, and here it comes to the seventh house in a very powerful placement in Magha Nakshatra. So, understand how this power is going to work for you. This power is going to work because, see, the seventh house is a house which is so important about your seat, about where you sit, what position you sit is the seventh house. The first house is where you stand, the seventh house is where you sit, the fourth house is where you relax, and the 10th house is where you slog. These are the kendras. In this situation, seventh house is where you sit right now. It is Jupiter comes to Magha Nakshatra. It is a royal nakshatra or ruled by Ketu. Ketu is so happy to welcome Jupiter here that Ketu will say in Magha Nakshatra, I will give everything to Jupiter. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. In this situation, your position goes up. You are going to be so powerful. Rahu is going to be completely under control of, you can say, Jupiter. On top of that, Mars is putting control. So Rahu has control over of two planets. Who is more feared of? One is Mars, one is Jupiter. So it is going to be a very extraordinary, extravagant time for you to develop something very positive. Those who are female and looking for a marriage companion partner, this is the point that you may find someone as well. So very beautiful and powerful dasha, and very beautiful and powerful transits for October of 2026 for all the Aquarius ascendant people. Such a great, great transit area. Beautiful. November is here, and Venus will enter into the sign of Virgo on 6th of November, saying that, you know what, I am debilitated again, but some monetary benefit you are supposed to get. And here Venus puts lot of effort, lot of hard work in that research and analytic, those who are in cybersecurity, those who are in research-based, any PhDs, research-based jobs, medical research, you will see that your level of now intuition, your level of now research has taken a complete different leap altogether, and that's why you're generating wealth, you're saving wealth as well. Mars also enters into Leo now, direct aspect on Rahu with Mars and Jupiter, and Mars also controls Ketu. See, now Ketu and Mars are in very close conjunction. Why? Because next month, in 1 month exactly, Ketu is supposed to transit to the sign of Cancer. And here Ketu is also in Ashwini Nakshatra, Mars is also in Ashwini Nakshatra. So in this situation, both are in fire sign and in this heavy nakshatra of detachment and heavy nakshatra of rule. And what happens when a soldier goes into a ruling nakshatra, it becomes aggressive. So somewhere in your love life, you may also take a very aggressive approach. So try to bring that down. Only if you're going through Mars Mahadasha and Ketu Mahadasha, Mars Antardasha, Mars Mahadasha, Ketu Antardasha, then love life, etc., will be very aggressive during this period. Mercury turns direct into Libra, as well as Venus turns next day direct into Virgo. So both the planets are now taking the right course of action. There is a Rashi Parivartan Yoga between the ninth and the 8th house. That means big mess up cannot happen during this period. It is going to be completely in the hands of God. You are absolutely safe here. So very beautiful transits. Sun enters into Scorpio. Sun is the lord of the seventh house, fourth from itself, new job. You can now expect great things, new job, new roles, new bosses, new place of work, new environment of work, power, more ranking, more dignity. Sun has digbala. There is such directional strength in this 10th house. So it will be super powerful. And with Venus entering into Libra, your destiny is also now in absolute perfect place. This is that exact combination of promotion, by the way. When 10th house Lord is 10th from itself, and there is a Rashi Parivartan between 7th and the 10th house Lord, this is an exact combination of, what you say, promotion or hierarchy. So hopefully your destiny is also supporting you. Let's hope for the best that in November 2026 we get a small comment below saying that, sir, you said it is happening and I got promoted today. So I will be very happy in that scenario. December is also here, Rohitji. See, the year is going so fast. Mercury enters into the sign of Scorpio here. Now look at Mercury's placement. Mercury is the lord of the 8th house in the 10th house. That means more sudden things in your workplace can happen. Mercury is also the 5th house lord, creativity. In fact, if you see here, Mercury is supposed to be having, Mercury does not have that Digbal strength here except Mars, but Mercury has very power of Sun here. Mercury is always close to Sun. In that state, Mercury also tries to give you rank, dignity, power, and promotion, etc., and give you some kind of great communication or some rewards. Mercury is all about rewards as well. So Mercury can give you some monetary benefit because fifth house lord is a lord of speculative gain. Those who are in share and stock market business, those who are mutual fund, those who are doing hedge fund, those who are doing market analysis, research, they may also find a great period for this. Taxation, those who are in any financial division, fintech also, they will find their upliftment happening during this period. Now this thing happens. Rahu and Ketu will be transiting into Capricorn and Cancer. This is a very, very powerful transit. Look at Ketu coming to the sixth house. Sixth house is the house of enemies. Here you may feel a little bit of overpowered by enemies. You will feel that enemies are trying to take over. Rahu in the 12th house, there can be possibility isolation can come. You can go to foreign countries. There can be association with a lot of foreign people. Ketu in the sixth house is not that great energy. In sixth house, you need a fighter. You don't need a priest. In sixth house, you need someone who's with a sword and fighting and killing people so that no one can harm you. But you have a priest here. So either your mantra shakti or either your spiritual sadhana can become a shield. But in the other way, when Ketu comes here, I have generally seen, this is my research, I don't go about the books, my research, when Ketu is in the sixth house, you always face a lot of jealousy, a lot of problems in workplace, a lot of politics around you, because you are a priest at the moment. You don't have the ability to fight. You don't have the motive only to fight. So other people can make you their enemy. Your work does not become work, it becomes service when Ketu comes to the sixth house. Your work is more of service, your work is more of devotion during this period, which should not be happening because this is a competitive world. So we always want to be in competitive environment only. With Rahu in the 12th house, again, your sleep patterns, expenditure, your fear, etc., can rise during this period. Still, Rahu is benefic here because it has the cruel nature of destroying the enemy, and this is the house of hidden enemies. So, some hidden enemies which are trying to trouble you a lot may be destroyed by Ketu or by Rahu. But when it comes to open enemies in your workplace, someone like open enemy, even like loans and debts and whatnot, may also become a little bit of challenge for you. That is why, end of this month, Jupiter will become retrograde and come back to the sign of Cancer because it has to take care of this Ketu. Otherwise, it will be a very big trouble. But this is a very big video. I'll be making a larger video on Rahu and Ketu about their transit. So we will talk about it. But this is a difficult transit. Huh? Rahu, very good, because Rahu has great ability to overcome challenges. Ketu is priest. Saturn also turns direct into the sign of Pisces here. This is very good news, because all the things related to finance, savings, real estate, anything to do in your inheritance, anything to do with your social circle, gains in that area also now restores in a very good way. Now, again, very big video we'll be talking about in the larger section. When Jupiter retrogrades in the sign of Leo, here also same things happen. And now Jupiter is more not worried about this position. Jupiter is worried about Ketu. But after receiving the position, now people may turn against you. People may make you your enemy. So how to tackle this? How to get the right wisdom? How to be powerful during this? So that's why Jupiter has taken a retrograde mode to go and meet Ketu in its exalted state, so that Jupiter can, leave its qualities with Ketu once it finally transits next year. Because Ketu is going to be here and Rahu is going to be here for 18 months, 1.5 years. So it's a very long time. Sun plus Mercury both will enter into the sign of Sagittarius, like 16th of December and 22nd of December. Now, being the seventh house lord in the 11th house, that means you will gain from partnerships. And being the eighth house lord, you'll be gaining because of your own merit. You'll be gaining because of your own research, because your children can also gain during this time. There is possibility that love life also may turn into a very, very great news, or maybe there will be new love interest, because both are aspecting the fifth house. So there can be lot of possibilities this period. Also, there may be marriage, because see, this is the house of social circle, so you will be surrounded by a lot of social people. So maybe in December, if you are Aquarius, your marriage is happening. So if you are getting married, please invite us, Rohit ji and me. We will love to come to your marriage and enjoy your marriage as well. All the very best. Have a great and a happy new year. 2026 yearly horoscope is now online. You can book online on acastro.ca, or there is a WhatsApp link in the description where you can book and enjoy your 2026. Rohitji, let's move to Pisces. Marathon. We are on a marathon now. Let's move to Pisces. All the best. Let's move to Pisces.